Hello neighbor, I'm Robert Burns and welcome once again to another edition of Sound Off Louisiana. As everybody will recall, we've been doing quite a few features on EMS, and that will be the subject matter of our feature today. Let me briefly just say that I have Miss Kendra Bazile here as our guest, and Junior, a close family friend. And my job is being made very easy in this instance because Bess Casserly of Channel 2 did a fantastic feature, and I want to emphasize this: it's very difficult to get a news director to sign off on a 9-minute investigative feature. Typically they only go to 6 minutes. I'm here to tell you this is a 13-minute investigative feature. So in order to get everybody up to speed, we're going to break away right now and let you see this outstanding feature done by Bess Casserly approximately a year ago, a little over a year ago, Channel 2. We'll be right back.
Time is of the essence, especially in the event of an emergency. First responders often gauge success on response time. Tonight, we have the story of the death of Jordan Whitley when he crashed his Ford Mustang on Nicholson earlier this year. His mother believes time failed her son. Reporting tonight, Bess Casserly and the WBRZ Investigative Unit. January 26th.
911, what's the address? I'm sorry, what was that, sir?
Yeah, the party ran off the road on Nicholson.
Nicholson and where?
Living Fast Pop In.
1:54 a.m.
Okay, are there any entries? Did you see it?
I'm not sure. I'm trying to see right now. Do you see him in the car? You can't move? There's some people who got here.
Several drivers stop on Nicholson Drive south of LSU, and a man calls 911 to report a wreck in the tree line.
Is he responsive? Don't touch him. Don't touch him, yeah. See if he's responsive. He's not responsive? No, I'm just saying, see if he's responsive. Is he responsive? Is he responding at all?
Is he conscious?
No, it don't seem like it.
Is he breathing?
He hit a tree.
Okay, is he breathing? Can y'all tell?
Inside the car, 29-year-old Jordan Whitley, a plant operator who was driving home from a night out.
It's bad, man. It's bad, man.
Okay, is he trapped in the vehicle?
Yeah, he's trapped in the vehicle.
7 minutes later, at 2:01 a.m., help arrives.
Is that the responders?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead and speak to them. Okay, go ahead and speak to them, okay?
Okay,
EMS and fire department is not too far behind.
Yeah, fire department's pulling up now.
Jordan did not make it. At 7 the next morning, Louisiana State Police notified Jordan's mother, Kendra, and his stepfather, Corey. Jordan had died in a car crash.
Jordan was a gregarious person. He loved people. He loved sports. He loved to travel. And he loved to eat good Southern food.
After planning Jordan's funeral and burying their son, Kendra started the healing process.
My mind was free, so to speak, to focus on what happened, to start processing what happened. And as I began to process it, there were just questions.
Like any parent, she needed to know her son's last moments. Kendra reached out to first responders to get as much information as possible on the crash. That's when everything changed.
Up until this point, we had been told by the state police that the 911 call came in around 1:54 a.m.
Jordan's Apple Watch told a different story. He had been wearing it at the time of the crash.
I looked through the call history and I noticed that there were 2 calls placed from his phone to 911 that morning around 1:35 and 1:36, about a minute apart.
After doing some research, she found that it was not Jordan who made the calls.
He did not physically dial 911. The car made the call for him.
Ford rolled out Sync 911 Assist in 2009, and the feature has been included in Ford vehicles since then. You can see it here. The system was standard in Jordan's 2019 Ford Mustang GT.
In the case of a crash, where the airbags were deployed, it would place a phone call to 911.
Before placing the call, 911 Assist gives the driver or passengers 10 seconds to manually cancel the call. If they don't or cannot respond in that time frame, the system calls 911, plays and repeats a recorded message. This was 19 minutes before dispatch sent first responders to Nicholson.
Attention, a crash has occurred in a Ford vehicle. Press 1 at any time for location information, or press 0 at any time to speak with vehicle occupants. Attention, a crash has occurred in a Ford vehicle. Press 1 at any time for location information, or press 0 at any time to speak with vehicle occupants. Line open. 911, where's your emergency? This is 911, what size is the emergency? Hello, this is 911, what size is the emergency?
It's unclear why the recorded message stops playing when the dispatcher accepts the call or why the call disconnects. But less than a minute later, the system calls 911 again.
Press 1 at any time for location information, or press 0 at any time to speak with vehicle occupants. 911. Attention, a crash has occurred in a Ford vehicle. Press 1 at any time for location information, or press 0 at any time to speak with vehicle occupants. Finding location, a vehicle crash has occurred at follow.
This time, it's clear the dispatcher hears the recorded message and appears to press 2 buttons, possibly to talk to the vehicle occupants and possibly to hear the vehicle location. But again, it's unclear why the call disconnects. We wanted to ask the 911 call center for an explanation as to why it appears both of these calls disconnected. We were told they would not be answering any questions about this case and referred us to the parish attorney's office. This is where it gets complicated.
I don't know, my hang up. Coming from the 6,000 block of Nicholson, getting no answer on callback.
According to the East Baton Rouge Sheriff's Office incident report and the activity log, dispatch sent a deputy to investigate a 911 call hang-up on Nicholson at 1:41 a.m. 4 minutes earlier, the activity log also shows the GPS coordinates of where the call came in, the location of Whitley's Ford Mustang. At that time, 1:41 a.m., the incident log lists the deputy's location at the intersection of Burbank and Gardier, less than 4 miles away, and according to Google Earth, a maximum drive of 7 minutes depending on the direction. 15 minutes later, at 1:56 a.m., dispatch contacts the deputy.
In reference to this hang up here in Route 2, EMS just sent over a screen. It looks like it's going to be for a crash or injury. The car hit a tree. Going to notify state as well.
As the deputy continues en route to the crash scene, the Baton Rouge Fire Department sent 3 fire trucks at 1:57 a.m.
Is it sheriff? The sheriff up? Yeah, he's still in there, but he don't look like he's living, man.
2:01 a.m. The sheriff's deputy arrives.
And I did not understand why it would have taken 20 minutes to get to the scene of the accident. In a life or death situation like this, every minute matters. Every second matters.
Kendra has spent months questioning first responders about the lapse in time.
From the reports that I had received from the fire department, from EMS, from state police, that it seemed like there was no response until the 154 call. So she looked back at the system, at her notes in the system, and she says only law enforcement was dispatched for the 136 call.
The sheriff's office tells us they were responding to this incident as a 911 hang-up, which according to their policies, quote, is not classified as an emergency call due to the frequency of unfounded cases. They say in the past year, they've received nearly 15,000 911 hang-ups, and only 26 of those calls were actual emergencies.
If the person in the accident is not responding to you, maybe it's because they can't.
A spokesperson for the sheriff's office also told us the deputy likely had trouble locating the crash scene and had to circle back several times. We wanted to verify that.
So the WBRZ investigative unit requested the GPS location information of the unit in order to account for those missing 19 minutes. We were told that the sheriff's office does not track units via GPS.
Help really did not arrive until about 30 minutes or so after that initial call.
Kendra says her attempt to get any more answers was met with resistance.
I realized that I was getting to a point where I was going to stop being able to get information from these different agencies.
She decided to seek legal help, making an appointment with an attorney. The night before that meeting, she went over all of her notes and took one more listen to the 911 calls.
And I listened to the first call, the automated crash notification that came from my son's car, expecting only to hear the 911 operator's voice.
911, where's your emergency?
This time, she heard something else.
911, where's your emergency? This is 911, what type is the emergency?
I'm thinking that I hear a response. So I listen to it, and I'm thinking, this can't be. Is my mind playing tricks on me? I listened to it over and over and over that night, and I'm hearing in a low tone the word help.
She played the call again for her husband and parents. They all believe they can hear a very faint voice say, "Help me."
And I think those words will forever haunt me, because at that moment I realized that my son had initially survived the accident and he was asking for help. And help didn't get there.
The coroner determined Jordan died from multi-system trauma caused by a car crash. The report has his time of death at 3:04 a.m. That's when the coroner arrived on scene and declared him dead. It's unknown when he actually died. According to the car's crash data retrieval system, Jordan was going 113 miles per hour 2 seconds before impact. He hit a tree at a speed of 87 miles per hour. A toxicology report showed his blood alcohol content was just slightly above the legal limit at 0.089.
He stuck the car back around a tree.
Okay.
And all the front of the car, all the front of the car is gone. And he's stuck in the driver's seat. You can't tell if he's alive or not, man. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay.
We will never know if an appropriate response had been made to those initial 911 calls. Would it have made a difference?
Whether Jordan survived the initial impact is a question that will never be answered. But Kendra and her husband Corey believe the questions they have surrounding the emergency response should be.
We don't know what could have occurred, if he still might have died, or if there was a chance to save him.
She questions, why did it take 20 minutes for the deputy to arrive at the crash scene? And why did the automated crash recording information not get relayed?
And I know that there is nothing that can be done for my son now. But maybe if there's a flaw in the response protocol, maybe it can save someone else's son.
Reporting tonight for the WBRZ Investigative Unit, I'm Bess Casserly.
Now, again, the 911 call center would not answer any questions regarding this case and referred us to the parish attorney's office. Bess, in fact, reached out 3 times, but so far has not heard back.
All right, I think everyone would have to agree that was a very thorough piece that was done by Bess Casserly a little over a year ago. So, Ms. Bazile, I know this has been a tough ordeal for you. It's now been 13 months since that feature came out. Can you just let our viewing audience know, what are your goals? What do you hope to accomplish in continuing to pursue this whole unfortunate incident?
Well, my goals are the same as they were when this first happened. You know, as a mother, I wanted to put together the last moments of my son's life. And as I began to research and gather information and talk to the different agencies, I realized that the answers that I was receiving, they were not adding up.
Okay.
There were inconsistencies. So I'm still searching for those answers.
Okay.
I still have answers as to the response to my son's accident, the delay, the way the 911 calls were handled, the way they were classified. I'm still looking for those answers.
Okay.
As any mother would in this situation, as Kendra mentioned, transparency and answers is all she's asked for and requested the entire time. So as we collectively looked into some of the information and data that she was presented with, as she said earlier, it wasn't making sense and it presented more questions. Those responses didn't make sense, so we presented more questions, and that's why we're still here today, because we have not received the answers that made sense. And so that's the goal, is to get answers, to understand, to piece together the last moments of his life, to make sure that he has the peace, as well as Kendra, on what happened that night. Certainly.
Well, I'll tell you what, combined with Ms. Casserly's excellent feature and given this brief little introduction of what the goals are, we are going to have a second installment, and we're going to go into a deep dive of just what all has transpired since Ms. Casserly did that feature. You will not want to miss this. So EMS is a hot topic now on this blog, and we intend to do a very deep dive into exactly what all transpired that unfortunate night. So I want to thank everyone for taking the time to view this first installment, and we look very forward to bringing you installments 2 of this fascinating series very soon. Thank you so much.